Hello everyone and welcome to Factorio. This is Rakkfalen. I wanted to let you know right off the bat that I am going to be using the creative mode super construction robots, so when you see me building things crazy fast speeds, don't be surprised. I wanted to show off some train builds that I've put together today, and I'm going to share those with you in the description if anybody wants to use them for their own builds. Definitely show me if you have anything cool that you build with them. But with that, let's get started. I started out with a basic 2-lane train track, and all of these blueprints will include the power poles, the tracks, and any signaling that is needed. As we go through here, there is the curve to go with that, and that'll work in any direction, of course. I did include a dead end. I know some people don't necessarily like or use dead ends, but some people do, so I like to just keep them on hand. We have the 2-lane spiral junction here, which is a design based off of a blueprint that I saw from Xantaxia. I will link that in the description as well. This has been tested pretty thoroughly. Doesn't seem to be any issues with it, so I definitely recommend it. I have a safe lane crossing here, which is a design by Gepwin. Basic concept is that when you run across here, you can see the signals turn red to keep the trains from running you over. And then if a train gets within the area, the gates close and you can't get through. So I will link that tutorial as well. But moving forward here, we've got a 2-lane pull-off, which is basically just if you need to make a stop somewhere for the train that you are riding, you can pull over here, get out, go check on what you need, and then get back in and continue along. So it's a little bit different than the 2-lane exit, which would be where your train would actually leave the main line to go to its individual stop, which I will actually cover a little more thoroughly in a little bit here. The only other blueprint in here is the 2-lane Freeway junction, which is a little different. Rather than being an exit, it's so that you can connect additional lines on at other angles, like so. And it'll work just as well as the 4-lane, but it'll leave a little space in case there's, water or whatever else. At this point, you may be wondering why these are all labeled 2-lane trains, and that is because I have also built a blueprint book of 4-lane trains to go with it. So these all overlay directly on their 2-lane counterparts, so you can see they match up the same way here. And then we can put these on wherever they belong. And all of the straight ones, at least, the dead end is a little bit different, but all of the straight ones and the intersections are all the same length and width. So you'll see this goes exactly that far, but then if we switch to a different one, it's still the exact same length. So it's basically just made up of blocks of track, which really helps with putting the blueprints together, as well as utilizing them when you put together this larger system. And the overlay is just so that you can really easily expand your base as you go. You start off with a 2-lane, and then you can build up to the 4-lane as you need it, and as your trains start to get backed up. All of these blueprints have been tested with multiple train systems. They shouldn't cause any issues. If you do have any signaling issues or anything like that, let me know so I can update them. But that's pretty much all of it. I do want to go over some really quick train stop integration, and I can include some blueprints for that as well. So assuming that you are using a train that is either a 121 or a 242, you would have the engines on both ends, which means they would both go in and out on the same track and then get onto their appropriate side of the main line. So I've included in here a train stacker blueprint, which works for a 121 left or right, and a 242 left or right. I'll go ahead and show you the 242 here. So if you put it down right here, then when the train comes in, it comes into a slot and then it hits this chain signal, and if there's a train in the stop, it'll just stop here and they'll stack up. So you can take this train stacker and build it out as many times as you want, and then to make the exit for the train stacker so that the train can come out, you just take one signal here from one of the rows and you switch it to the other side. And the purpose for this is so that now all of these are going this direction, whereas this one sends the train outward in the other direction. So that way they can get in and out of their stops. which I have also included a couple blueprints in here for those. We've included the fluid unloading with the new pump usage, fluid loading. We've got regular unloading that uses stack inserters and steel chests, and a regular loading with the same. These are all based on the 242 trains, so keep that in mind. You may need to cut it down if you're using 121, but all these blueprints will be included in the description. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to let me know, and I will see you guys soon.